There is no evidence that video games cause real-world violence. Let's get that out there right away. Well, that didn't stop the White House from putting together a video of violent scenes from video games in an attempt to shift some of the blame onto the games industry. Well, in an effort to negate that little violence-filled montage, the games industry is fighting back with peace and love.
A few days ago, the White House uploaded a short video showing off scenes of extreme violence from games like Sniper Elite, The Evil Within, and Call of Duty. Reactions to the video were pretty strong. Many gamers criticised the video as being one-sided, with scenes cherry-picked to be as shocking as possible without any context. Famed game designer Warren Spector shared his opinion on the White House video, and he thought the people who made those games should be ashamed of themselves and they are hurting the industry. Spector did acknowledge his own games like Deus Ex contain scenes of explicit violence, but he said his games always offer a non-violent option as an alternative. Spector did say, however, that video games are not responsible for real-world violence, and the White House's video is a blatant attempt to shift the focus from real problems, calling it, quotes, pure propaganda.
Gearbox head Randy Pitchford replied to Spector's tweet saying the White House's video was made in bad taste and was assembled from a propagandist mindset. Spector agreed with Pitchford but countered, saying the fact the White House was able to make a video like that at all was indicative of a wider problem in the industry. Well, after much discussion over this in the past week, a non-profit gaming organisation has made their own video as a counter to the White House's argument that video games cause real-world violence. Games for Change posted their own video game highlight reel demonstrating some of the more touching and emotional moments in gaming. The video, which features a broad range of titles like Horizon Zero Dawn, Monument Valley, and Life is Strange, was created to show there is more to video games than mindless violence.
The 88 seconds long video features scenes like swimming with fish in Abzu, observing roboticized nature in Horizon, and perhaps the most prominent scene being Ellie and Joel finding the giraffes in The Last of Us. The video is accompanied by a description which reads, quote, "After seeing that the White House produced a video depicting video games as ultra-violent, we felt compelled to share a different view of games. Video games, their innovative creators, and the vast community of players are so much more than what is depicted in the White House's video. Games for Change's video ends with a message thanking game creators and players, encouraging everyone to love, not hate." I think this is an excellent idea. I think they've mirrored the length of the White House video and stuff, and just to make that point. And they've said right out the gate that this is why they've done it. It's a direct response to that White House video to show that gaming is more than just blasting people's heads off. And I think that the bottom line for me is, although a lot of these games are really mainstream, high-profile games like Call of Duty, and Fallout is one that gets featured quite prominently as well. They are like the top chart-topping kind of games. You could make a montage out of movies and TV shows and everything that makes them look horrific, and that video is horrific because all it is a sizzle reel of gory death. The counterpoint here is that there's loads of nice games. There's loads of good things going on in video games as well. So I think that's just the absolute best response.
It's the same old discussion, isn't it? Video games cause real-world violence, but do they? I mean, movies don't. Apparently, movies are right. They didn't make a highlight reel about movies. They're not meeting with movie executives, unlike the movie industry, about violence in movies causing real-world violence. Scapegoating. That's all it is. There's things happened in the media. Media's blowing up about some sort of horrible things happening in the real world, and they need a scapegoat. Games industry is easy, isn't it? It's games. It must be games. We don't understand them. Why would people spend that much time playing these games? Let's scapegoat games. There's a reason why there is age limits on games, right? It's so that young people can't play them, impressionable minds can't play them. That's what should happen, right? So all the violence should only be experienced by people who are old enough to tell right from wrong and to know that violence isn't right in the real world, but you're playing the game. It's propaganda, is what it is. Time and time again, when scientists have looked at it, they found no link between video games and real-world violence. So it's just a lot of bullshit is what it is.
I think that you can see absolutely clearly that it is propaganda and that it is a scapegoating thing because of the way that it was done. It was like there's an extremely violent, horrific incident in America, and then the White House has to respond, and then they come up with all these different measures. One of the things they come up with is, we're going to meet the people who do make video games, and we're going to sort this out. This is a cultural problem. The meeting takes place And then all the reports from that meeting are that it was utterly unproductive and weird, and that just shows that it was just there to be headlines for a couple of days after this terrible event had happened. That's all it was. It was just there as a lightning rod and stuff for you know, as one way of looking at it. And it just feels like it's already done with. It's already forgotten about. And I think it's just that this response from the games industry and from Games for Change is absolutely wonderful. And I think that is ultimately the best way to do it. Just if someone's showing you all the bad, don't just crap all over that bad thing. Just show them something good. Show them a highlight reel that's completely the opposite to what they've done. And yeah, what a great bit of work.
So what do you reckon is the best way that the games industry could have responded? What other ways do you think they could have responded? Non-violent, of course. Let us know down in the comments below. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out more of our content on your screen there. Support us on Patreon if you're awesome. We'll see you again in the next video. Until then, bye for now.